grateful that you're here and provide some insight. Sitting next to Ona is Ava, Ona's sister, current Drexel student, 26, is that right? Class of 26?
Yes.
Yeah, class of 26, so just getting started. And as you heard from her earlier, sitting on the far end, Abbie Wingerd is a Dickinson College class of 2019, and she's now the Assistant Commissioner of the College Squash Association. Anyone who's been following College Squash on social media, the website, communications, over the last 6 months or so, all credit goes to Abbie. She's doing a phenomenal job for us, and she's taking on more and more every single day. So I'm really personally grateful to have you on board, but also grateful that you're here today. So really quick, just to get us started, this is really, Ava, I got one for you in a little bit, but Ona and Abbie, if you can talk to us a little bit about how you went about balancing academics and your squash playing while you were in college over the 4 years.
For me, it's a little bit easy because I do have OCD, so I'm extremely organized, kind of just automatically, but I would say that was the biggest thing for me in college, just being super organized, well with time management, and really just planning ahead. I always wanted to be 1 week ahead. If I was in week 1, I'd be kind of focusing on week 2 a little bit already, just to prepare myself, get ahead, especially with squash also, obviously taking up a lot of time with training, lifting, matches as well. I just wanted to always be prepared, be ahead, and know what was coming my way before it came, just so, yeah, I was prepared really.
I think one thing is that you definitely need to plan out by semester almost, especially when you're playing a sport. You'll be given your syllabus at the beginning, so you can really, like Ona said, kind of give those 2 weeks ahead, and you can't really procrastinate. One thing that is offered at most schools I think I can speak to is that you'll have some opportunities with either academic advisors who are associated with the squash team that are there for resources, as well as your coach. And I know at Dickinson we had you had to meet a certain GPA, and to keep that on track, that you had study hours with the team, and you would go, and freshman year, your first year, it was required, and you had to go for those 2 hours on top of your practice just to make sure that your work was getting done and that you could stay on schedule, and there were always resources to help with that as well.
Great, thank you for that. Next question, what advice do you have for young players who are entering or navigating the recruiting process for college? Ava, we'll start with you since you most recently went through it, but you've all had this experience, so I'm eager to hear your thoughts.
I would personally say to start kind of early. I started my junior year with my SATs and ACTs, just making sure that I got all of the academic requirements obviously done beforehand. I played a lot of tournaments just to make sure I met obviously all the coaches, coaches of other schools that I was interested in, everything. And once I had my academics, it was kind of just like talking to the coaches, making sure I was on Zoom with them or I was meeting them during tournaments, anything like that. And from there, I mean, once you kind of start having a relationship with the coaches that you're planning to go to school it's kind of like good from there. So I would just say start early and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I would also, in addition to just starting early, I would say also if you can go visit the school, whether it's a unofficial visit or if you're lucky enough to get an official visit, visiting the school, but also the team that you're gonna be on, I would say is a big thing. For me, I knew I wanted to go to Drexel kind of immediately, not only because of coaches and everything like that, but the team that I met going into my freshman year when I went for my visit, I guess junior year of high school, I kind of loved all of them immediately, and that was what really sold me to the school, in addition to everything else, obviously, but just the team, meeting them, because they are going to be your friends and family, really, for the next 4 years. So you want to know, really, the people that you're meeting, getting into, and also just see if really they are kind of on the same path as you as well, and just learning about them, too, and seeing if it fits what you want to do.
My experience was a little bit different. I was a walk-on. I was that multi-athlete. I played soccer in high school and decided 2 weeks before I was going that I wanted to play squash. So I just emailed the coach at the time and just asked if there was an opportunity for me to join. So once I got there the first day, I just went to the courts and met everyone, and I, with that, didn't get to play the first year. I think I played 13 on the ladder, and then had to put in the extra time and work that the coaches kind of spoke on beforehand about the coachability, and there's an opportunity there too. So I think both starting early and also starting late, there's a space for you. As well as I just wanted to mention, like, the SATs and the ACTs, there are schools where that's optional as well. So you can really find your place, and if you want to play squash, there's a spot.
Abbie, hold on to that for a sec. Just wanted to ask about if you have interests beyond squash on campus. How do you balance those with your squash playing?
I think it's all kind of the level of play that you want to play squash in college at. For me, I was kind of at a much lower ranking, I guess, than Drexel, where it might have been a bit different. You guys can talk about that. But for Dickinson, we were a newer team, and I had the opportunity to be involved in things outside of squash. I know that there was no kind of hesitations there. We were able to, as long as we showed up for our practices and for the matches, then you could kind of attend anything else that you were interested in, whether that was something academic, a club, Greek life, anything like that. So it was pretty open for us.
I think for going off of what Abbie said, at Drexel at least, I mean, for me, I had a major but also 2 minors in addition to squash, so I was pretty busy in general, so I personally didn't have the time for extracurriculars, mainly because squash also was my passion and focus kind of the whole time. With that being said, though, I think that if you do have a passion in something else outside of squash, if you're on a team or just outside of academics, if you have the time and you want to, I think there's definitely a way that you can make it happen. I think really each person is different, so it's up to you to make it work, but if you want to make it work, I think you can really just however you plan to do it, but if you want to, you definitely can do extra besides just squash in school.
You said it all.
Yeah, I think that's really critical. That the communication part is really important. Talking to your coach so they understand what your goals are and what you want to accomplish. You can start that as early in the recruiting process as you want if you really know what you want to do. But college is such a different atmosphere and really opens doors that you didn't even know that you had access to. And so being clear about what you want to do and what you want to accomplish and what you might want to try with the coaches so that you can balance squash, academics, and whatever else you're interested in is really important. And we're running low on time. I know it's a bit short, but what's your favorite part? What was your favorite part about playing in college? We get some seasoned and then a new perspective here.
For me, 100% traveling away, especially to matches and just being on the bus with the team. It was always fun energy, obviously in general, but especially coming back from the matches of throughout probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Usually we had matches. So I would say Sunday evening coming back was probably my favorite part on the bus, just because everyone obviously was so tired from matches and everything, but at the same time, we all went through it together. We were all cheering for each other, so everyone went through the same thing, and now we're gonna have fun on the bus, really come back. And we'd get back sometimes at like 1 o'clock in the morning, but everyone would just have this great energy always, win or lose, depending on obviously the weekend. But I think, yeah, just being on the buses in general with the whole team, women and men's team together, at least that's how it is at Drexel, that was probably my favorite part.
What have you liked so far, Ava?
Clearly I can't pinpoint anything, but since I am a freshman, I just want to say being on a squash team in general and just coming into a school, having a team and kind of exactly your family for the next 4 years, especially for me since I'm not a very outspoken and outgoing person, just being able to have people around me who I've kind of been introduced to at the beginning is super, I'm very grateful for it and it's helped me a lot. So clearly I haven't traveled yet or anything, but just the team in general is definitely super grateful to have.
I think there's nothing like college squash until you get to college squash. I love it. I work for college squash now. I think that the team aspect and kind of what Ona was saying about the traveling and just getting away and seeing different cities is something that is specific to squash. There's just a lot out there to see, and when you get there, there's the competition. And for me, it was like a 3-part thing where it offered structure, where you know, could keep your academics on hand. I mean, college is hard enough, and squash is hard, but the reward's so worth it. Being a part of a team and the community of squash, there's just a lot of support, both while you're in school and then obviously after as well. There's an entire network of people, and I know that's something that Una is working on right now with US Squash. So there's definitely a network of people, young, old, that are out there to support you through college and after as well.
Well, thank you so much for your insight. I know it was a bit quick, but and thanks again to the coaches. We're really grateful to have this platform, Narelle, and we hope you all follow college squash throughout this coming season and beyond. This is actually the 100th anniversary of intercollegiate team squash. The first match was played in 1923, so you'll be hearing more from us about how we're planning to celebrate our 100th anniversary this year. It's also the apropos of this gathering, it's the 50th anniversary of the first intercollegiate women's team event, which was staged in 1973. We just got past the 50th anniversary of Title IX, and we're grateful for everything that the passing of that law has done for squash. So a lot to celebrate this year, a lot to be excited about on court. We hope you follow us. Our website's csasquash.com. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and we'll see you out there. But thanks again for your time. It's great to be here.